I think it was inappropriate. I think it was racist, and I think it was sexist. We also have to remember that this is the same Sean Spicer who was caught on camera when he was being annoyed by a local woman at a local mall and said, "You're lucky that you still get to be in this country." And he said this to a Latina woman. So it's not like this is completely bizarre to think this is the case. We also have to remember that the rhetoric and the behavior of this administration from top to bottom have demonstrated a lack of respect and a lack of consideration for people of color. I'm not surprised, and it seems par for the course for how they've operated.
I think it's sad. I think this is not going to help our country. I don't think Sean Spicer's lying. I watch this press briefing every day. By the way, there's a lot of highlights. And he allows April, who's a friend of mine, I have deep respect for April. He allows her to ask multiple questions at every briefing. I thought this was too feisty, and I don't think the feistiness in the press briefings is actually that helpful. But I don't think there was any ill intent or disrespect meant. I think what you're seeing is a press secretary that's dealing with a lot of news every day, all at once, and there's a lot to deal with. And I think that was a moment where he pushed back and got feisty with a reporter who he has a very good rapport with on most days.
So I want to walk a fine line because I spent years sitting in that briefing room.
You don't get to tell other people what racism is. Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Because you don't experience it.
You don't know what
this has nothing to do. You don't need to raise your voice because that's the kind of racism I'm talking about. You just raise your voice at someone who's simply disagreeing with you. You have interrupted me throughout this entire exchange, and rather than speaking respectfully and considerately, you raise your voice at me because you're uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable. You are uncomfortable at being spoken to by someone who doesn't agree with you and recognize that you don't know what you're talking about.
Gentlemen,
you're going to get in my face because that's
gentlemen.
Thank you.
But finish your thought, and then I'd like you to respond.
My thought is this is the exact kind of aggression and lack of respect that we're talking about. And it goes beyond Sean Spicer. It goes to President Trump. It goes to Steve Bannon, who runs an alt-right website. We're talking about having civil conversations in Congress. And the moment that someone who is African-American demonstrates a matter of integrity or intent or strength that makes somebody uncomfortable, if they have some issue with that, they do not respond to it. And he keeps interrupting me because he's incapable of respecting the space and time that I've established.
I don't care what color you are, and I have respect for you.
I care what color you are because it's important because our differences are also part of this country. Can we count how many times you've interrupted me beforehand and then you yelled at me? Please continue, but let's make sure we don't lose that point.
Do I get some time?
Yes, you do. Now, after having interrupted me consistently.
Go ahead.
That's great. Okay, it's great to be here. That's really great respect.
Yes, it is.
Let me just say this, which is as the country has